Well, the umpiring alignment this Thursday afternoon in Oakland finds Umont at the plate, DeMuro at first, Haller at second, Jake O'Donnell at third, Don Buford to step in for the Orioles. The final game in the four-game series, and it's our pleasure to turn the microphone over to our partner, Bill O'Donnell. Bill?
Thank you, Chuck, and good afternoon, everybody, from the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Don Buford against the open right-hander, 24-year-old Roland Fingers. He's 1-1 and he's dropped 2. First pitch of the afternoon is picked on and hit out into shallow left. Campaneris from short, Rudy from left. It's Rudy for the grab in shallow left field. So Buford, as he does quite a number of times, lays on that first pitch, but he is skied to the left fielder, Rudy. Buford retired, and here's Paul Blair. He'll be followed by Dave Johnson. In case you missed Chuck's opening comments and the batting orders, thirds are going with Buford, Blair, Johnson, Powell, Rettenmund, Brooks Robinson, Dalrymple, Belanger, and Palmer. Now, Blair is batting left-handed against the right-hander Fingers. He's low and tight, ball 1. Blair in the series has 1 base hit. He's made 11 official trips to the plate. Fingers with his arms down by the sides, winds on top and guns in a breaking ball, gets the strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Blair. Batting at .254. Blair has a home run and 11 runs batted in. Fingers back to work again with a 1-1er. He slides it on the inside corner. Strike 2 is called, and Umont's call now has Blair a little bit mad. Scoreboard says 2-2. It should read 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fingers works to the plate, and here's a ground ball to the left of second base. Campaneris is on top of it, fumbles it, loses it back of second base, and Blair is safely aboard on the error by Campaneris. Campaneris, as he was roaming to his glove side, got the glove on the ball a little bit to the left of second base. As he took 1 or 2 more steps and got set to throw, the ball popped out of the glove as he was directly behind the bag. So Blair safe on the Campaneris there, has the life at first base, and here is Dave Johnson. Johnson comes into this final game of the 4-game series at Oakland with a 17-game hitting streak, and he has had a fine road trip, 12 base hits in 32 plate appearances. Blair's lead, looked at by the right-hander Fingers from over the left shoulder. He goes outside and low. The error and a miscue just made by Campaneris is his 4th boot in this series. Blair, pretty good edge at first base. The next pitch is lined out to left center field. Rudy and Monday give it a long gallop, and Rudy gets it in left center field, about 3 long strides in front of that warning track. In that power alley, in which Monday made the putout, to the wall in left center, it is 375. To the left and right field foul lines here at the Coliseum, it is 330 feet. Johnson becomes out number 2 now in the top of the first inning. And here's Boog Powell. Boog has not had certainly the kind of series he would like to have here at Oakland, and has not had the kind of road trip he'd like to enjoy. Boog began this road trip in Detroit, batting at .237, and the average has fallen off to where it is right now at .210. Blair with a pretty good edge at first base. Fingers comes into Powell with a changeup high, ball 1. The plate umpire today is Frank Umont. He heads this crew comprised of Lou DeMuro at first, Bill Haller at second, and Jake O'Donnell at third. 2 away in the Birds' first inning. Fingers against Palmer is the pitching matchup today. And it's low to Boog. 2 balls and no strikes. The A's won the opener to this 4-game set behind Vida Blue and Reggie Jackson's clutch base hit. Won the ball game 1-0. And McNally and Johnson led the Orioles to the 2nd game victory in the series, 6-2. Combination of Hunter's pitching, Campaneris, and Davis's bat brought the A's from behind to win last night 5-4. Swing and a foul tip as it rips right back into Duncan's mitt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Boog with Rettenmund to follow. Big Mincher at first base is the holder now on Blair's lead. Fingers stretching from the letters and right under the belt. Whips in the next pitch, which is lined to deep right. Jackson's going to the wall, and it is going to go over the wall for a Boog Powell home run. His 5th home run of the year. Give him 2 more runs batted in, and he now totals 17. That was lined over the wall in right field to the right field bleachers. And Powell, who did not homer last year against Oakland, has done so today for the first time this season. Boog adds the Oakland Ball Club to his list of homers following the Tigers and the Indians and the Angels. A quick 2-0 bulge now on the top of the first inning. Well, Merv Rettenmund comes to the plate as Powell has just done the cleaning job of the bases with Blair scoring ahead of him. Merv is 2 for 6 in the series to date. A breaking ball snaps inside. Ball 1 to Merv. The home run that Fingers just gave up is the 6th home run pitch he's been tagged for this season. Fingers making his 6th start of the year. The next delivery to Merv is over the plate but too high. So let's run the count, 2 balls and no strikes to Rettenmund. Merv back again in right field tonight as he was last night for Frank Robinson. Fingers behind and throws. Here's a foul over the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wally Fingers' last outing was a no-decision outing. His only win of the year was at the expense of the Milwaukee Ball Club. He blanked the Brewers 5-0 back on the 12th of April as he tossed a 5-hitter. 2-1, slides outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fingers' defeats have been at the hands of the White Sox and the Tigers. Fingers asking Duncan now to open up the door and show him that sign a little bit more. And as he's looking for signs, Rettenmund decides to step out on him. Merv has played a bit, not too much, a bit into left center by center fielder Monday. Strike call, blazing on the outside corner. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Rettenmund, batting at .278. Orioles 2. And the A's nothing in the very first inning on Powell's 5th 4-bagger of the year. Pay pitch to Merv from Fingers. Swing and a miss. He strikes out to retire the side. Well, give the Orioles 2 runs, 1 base hit. They don't leave anybody. In the middle of the first inning, Orioles 2, and the Oakland A's are coming up.
Well, Jim Palmer, 3-0 on the year, beat the Angels 7-1 in a 6-hitter in his last outing on Sunday. Aided his own cause with a couple of runs batted in, bases loaded single. His other wins this year have been against Detroit and Cleveland. Palmer a year ago was 3 victories without a defeat against Oakland and carries a fine career record of 7 wins and 3 defeats against them this afternoon. Well, the Powell home run has given the Birds a very quick 2-0 lead. Here come the Oakland A's in the bottom of the first, and right with them, Bill O'Donnell.
All right, Chuck, and here comes Campy Campaneris, Joe Rudy, and Reggie Jackson against 3-game winner Jim Palmer. This is Jim's 5th start of 1971. He has 2 complete games in the previous 4. Going to Campaneris for the first time today. He goes high, ball 1. Last year, Big Jim had great success against the A's. He licked them 3 times without a loss. Jim back to the plate, 1-0. He gets the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Masterminding Palmer today is Clay Dalrymple with Brooks at third, Belanger short, Johnson second, and Boog at first base. 1-1 to Campy. Ground ball right back to the mound. Taken by Palmer cleanly, and a quick toss to Powell. Retires Campaneris. Pretty rough leadoff man is out of there now, and here is Joe Rudy. Rudy added his 4th home run of the season in this series. He's batting at .262. Jackson will be coming on deck after Rudy. Open with a very clear-cut lead in the American League West. Starts today's action 4 games in front. Of course, the Orioles right now are in a ding-dong of a division battle with the Senators and the Red Sox. Palmer guns a fastball low outside, ball 1 to Rudy. So some of you said in recent years we'd love to have a race. Well, you've got it right now, a flat-footed 3-way tie. The 1-0 is hit foul back of the plate. Dalrymple is giving it a chase. He's giving it a chase, makes the catch, and he bangs into a retaining wall just to this side of the Oriole dugout. So Dalrymple staying all the way with that foul pop-up and makes the put out for out number 2. There's a retaining wall that starts at the near edge, the home plate edge of the Oriole dugout, cuts back in front of some box seats, comes under a screen, and then extends to the near edge, the third base, the home plate edge of the Oakland dugout. 2 gone in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Reggie Jackson, 3 for 9 on the series. Right-hander to left-hander, and Palmer blazes him low, ball 1. It was Jackson's hit in the opening game that gave the Vida Blue that 1-0 victory. The 1-0 from the winding Palmer. High, and it's kind of tight. 2 balls and no strikes. Jackson is batting .221. And the A's have Mincher on deck. Palmer rocking and riding in the next delivery. That has the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. The outfield is around to right. And just as he did last night, Rettenmund is back good and deep on Jackson to right field. The next pitch from Palmer is line foul off to the left, so Jackson gets a late cut on a fist-high fastball. 2-2 to Reggie Jackson. Speaking, as we did a couple of moments ago, about Palmer's 3 wins against the A's last year, he defeated Dobson, Talbot, and Hunter. 2-2 inside to Jackson. So we've got a count of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Palmer beat Dobson 5-1. He licked Talbot 4-2, and he licked Catfish Hunter in late August a year ago 5-1. 3-2 to Jackson. Fouled off the thumbs to the screen. Palmer trying to say goodbye right now to Jackson after retiring Campaneris and Rudy in the bottom of the first inning. And Palmer and the Birds enjoying a 2-0 edge. Jackson getting set. Palmer working and dealing. Low curve, ball 4. He loses Jackson with 2 men out. Here's a big man from Alabama. He's got quite a few nicknames through this Oakland ball club. Don Mincher, batting at .227. Some of the fellows call him Country. A couple of more call him the Mule. And I guess most everybody calls him Minch. Don Mincher, who was hitless in this series. Jackson, who has very good speed, leads at first base, and he's held the Powell. The pitch to Mincher. Big cut by the big man, and strike 1. Rettenmund is playing Mincher just about the same in right field. Deep, a little bit to the foul line, as he did against Jackson. Mincher normally a pull swinger. The lift to first by Palmer, and he goes that way, but Jackson, who wasn't straying too far off, is back to the bag. Powell keeps holding, and Palmer keeps looking again to Jackson. A fastball is fouled straight back. 2 strikes to Mincher. Mincher in his major league career with consistency has always been a big bomber, a long ball hitter. Quick toss to first base and a long stride gets Jackson back safely. 0-2 to Mincher. It backs him out of the batter's box. It was high and kind of tight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Palmer ahead of Mincher. There he is looking again to the Jackson lead. A swing and a chopper headed for second baseman Johnson. Flips to Belanger at second base for the force play on the high sliding Reggie Jackson. In the A's first inning, nothing across, so at the end of 1, Orioles 2, the Oakland A's nothing.
In the National League this afternoon, the Cubs are leading the Montreal Expos by a score of 6-4. Cubs batting in the bottom of the 8th inning. And it's the Mets 7, the Cardinals nothing there in the last half of the 8th inning. And that's it for daylight baseball this afternoon, and we'll get right back to Bill.
In the top of the second inning, Brooks Robinson against Fingers. Swings and misses, strike 1. To be very candid, Brooks has not had a good series here at Oakland. He has gone 0 for 11, and he has seen the average dip down to .222. 0-1. High and letter high to Brooks Robinson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brooks, Dalrymple, plus Belanger. We're in the top of the second inning, and the Orioles are leading on the Powell first inning home run by a score of 2-0. Brooks to Fingers, 1-1. Swings and misses again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The National League game at Chicago is now in the top of the 9th inning. Montreal batting and trailing. Cubs lead the Expos by a score of 6-4. Fingers pumping and winding right on top. And he goes low outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've got the 2-2 pitch right here to Brooks Robinson. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Within a couple of hours after this ball game is over, the Orioles and all the traveling party will be flying back closer to the east. We'll be in Kansas City a little bit later tonight to start a 3-game series there tomorrow night. 3-2 pitch to Brooks. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. Brooks is out number 1. He is also Fingers' second strikeout. He fanned Rettenmund to wrap up the 2-run top of the first inning. Here's Clay Dalrymple. Clay is making his first start of the 1971 season back of the plate. He has made 1 plate appearance, and that was in the opening game to this road trip. That was the game in Detroit. Dalrymple 0 for 1. He'll be followed by Belanger. And Dalrymple, I'm sure you know, is a left-hand batting receiver. Fingers works on Dalrymple with a changeup, and he has strike 1. Aiding Fingers defensively, it's Duncan back of the plate, Bando third, Campanera short, Green second, Mincher first. The outfield, Rudy Mundy and Jackson from left to right. Dalrymple hits a ground ball at second baseman Green. With a waist-high hop, he throws out Dalrymple. 2 away in the Orioles' second inning, and here's Belanger. Now, Belanger, like Dave Johnson, and yes, like Don Buford, he's had a fine road trip. Belanger is 9 for 27 on the road. When we had that first game in Detroit on a Tuesday night, Belanger's average was 222. Right now, it is 270. 2 away, and Belanger's up. Strike 1 called. If Belanger delivers and gets on, we'll see Palmer as well here in the top of the second inning. Fingers back in with his 0-1, and he's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The left fielder, Rudy, and the right fielder, Jackson, neither one deep to Belanger, and they both are playing well off the foul lines. Dead center, normal depth is Monday. The next pitch from Roland Fingers. Slides outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Belanger right back deep to the box. 2-1 zipped in. High, 3-1. On a couple of occasions in this young season, Fingers has been wrapped around pretty good. For example, in his opening test of the year against the Tigers and against Lolich, he gave up 8 hits and 7 runs in less than 5 innings. He trails right now 2-0. Strike is called to Belanger. So that sends the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fingers nodding okay. Delivers. Swing and a miss. He strikes out 2 in the inning, and he's got 3 strikeouts in 2 innings of work. At the end of an inning and 1/2. Baltimore 2, Oakland nothing.
Birds back home Tuesday night, open up against the California Angels, a very fine 9-game homestand, and I want to remind all of you that tickets for any and all of the ball games in the coming homestand are on sale daily, Monday through Saturday, at the Birds Memorial Stadium ticket window near gate W2 from 9 o'clock in the morning until 6 in the evening.
Well, Chuck, it's Bando, Monday and Duncan against Jim Palmer. High to Bando, ball 1. Very good series by Sal Bando, 5 hits and 10 at-bats, and he's a beastly average up today to 282. Fouls the next Palmer pitch over the Oriole dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coming into American League action today, Killebrew was the leading RBI man in the league with 20, followed by Yastrzemski 19, Northrup 18, and then Bando and Johnson at 17. 1-1. Another Bando foul straight back. Of course, the 2-run homer by Powell in the first inning has put Powell right where Bando and Johnson are with those RBI American League leaders. 1-2 to Sal. A curve is looped to shallow center. A long run for Blair. It'll be a Bando base hit into shallow center. First Oakland base knock today, and it's Bando's 6th hit in the series. Rick Mundy is up, and he is hitless so far. And he has his average slide down to 233. Monday, one of the many A's to whom owner Charlie Finley has dealt out a lot of cash. Bando with nobody out, leading at first base. Bando hits a line foul, sailing out to left. Monday, a line foul out to left. Bando's the runner at first base. Monday received in the neighborhood of $100,000. I don't know about your neighborhood, but that's a pretty good neighborhood for me. One strike to Rick Monday. Swings and misses. He chased and gave a late cut to an outside Palmer fastball. 0-2. Duncan will be the next open batter. Bando about a 2, maybe a 3-step lead now as it gets off a little bit further as Palmer is watching Dalrymple. Jim sets to the letters. His fastball is strike 3 called. It just clawed the outside corner, and Monday admired it all the way. Here's the first strikeout for Jim Palmer. He's also walked a man, that was Jackson, with 2 out last inning. Now he'll see Dave Duncan for the first time today. Duncan, who showed great improvement with the bat last season. And right now his early season average in 71 is .246. Bando is very well off the plate, and he's going to bat right-handed out of the closed stance. With one away, Bando off first base. There's a big cut at a breaking ball and strike 1. Buford plays Duncan straight away left. Blair plays Duncan to left center. Rettenmund is way over into right center. The look to first by Palmer. His next pitch is high. So let's have a count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Duncan is 7th in manager Dick Williams' order, and Dick Green is standing on deck. Frank Umont from back of the plate telling Palmer to wait now, just wait a bit as Duncan gets reset. Now they're both ready. Here's a high, towering fly, deep center. Blair's at the track, at the fence, leaps up, and he can't get it. It's out of here for a home run. Blair leaped but couldn't get it. It was over the fence in center field. A 2-run Duncan homer has tied it. That is Duncan's second home run. Duncan just hit quite a belt as it managed to clear by a couple of feet the wall in center. Well, we begin all over again, a 2-2 tie. Strike is called to Dick Green. Green is hitless in the series. Well, homers have provided the big action thus far. Powell's just matched by Duncan's. Here's a breaking ball, and Palmer gets strike 2 to Green. The next pitch by Palmer. Swing and a miss, he strikes out Green. 2 Palmer strikeouts, and both this inning, and we'll pause for station identification. This is the Oriole Baseball Network.
This is Doug Carrick speaking. Get the news from the 4 corners of the world every day here on Radio 11 WBAL in Baltimore.
With 2 gone in this 2-run Oakland second, here's the 9th man on the order, pitcher Fingers. Fingers has come to the plate 9 times this season with 2 base hits, batting at .222. Here's a line drive towards Johnson over Johnson's head to right center field. 3rd hit this inning off Palmer, and the 2-out base hit is by Fingers. The leadoff man is up again, Campaneris. Campaneris drops to the mound last inning. Campy had quite a night last evening. He scored the winning run of the ball game in the 9th inning on Tommy Davis's base hit. He is 6 for 14 right now in the series. Fingers with the jacket on and leading at first base. Campaneris out of that deep knee bend and off the plate. High Palmer fastball, 1-0. There's Fingers with a short lead and Palmer with his stretch. And he gets the fastball in this time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bert Campaneris. Next pitch for Palmer is a curve snapping in for strike 2 call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Campaneris at the plate with Fingers at first base and 2 gone in the Oakland second inning. Palmer ahead, throws. Outside, it sends Dalrymple down to one knee. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 runs on the runner at first base. Campaneris waiting 2-2. He hits a foul on the ground out towards third. I know you're going to enjoy this Oakland ball club when it comes into Baltimore, and it comes in very conveniently for all you Oriole baseball fans. The A's of Dick Williams come in on a weekend, May 7th, May 8th, and May 9th. 2-2 to Campaneris, swings and he strikes out. So although Palmer hangs up 3 strikeouts in the inning, he gives up 2 runs on Duncan's second homer this year. At the end of 2, Orioles 2, Oakland 2.
Well, the Orioles, the Red Sox, and the Senators all jammed up in a battle for first place in the Eastern Division. The Senators will see action tonight in Washington against the White Sox. The Red Sox will host the Minnesota Twins tonight in Boston. And elsewhere in the American League tonight, Cleveland will be at California. A couple of night games in the National League. The Dodgers are in Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Atlanta. Bill?
Fingers pitching to Jim Palmer, and it's outside low as we start the top of the third. Score tied 2 apiece. Palmer, Buford, and Blair here in the Oriole third. Palmer's picked up 2 base hits at the plate this year. 1-0 to Jim. Lone outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Palmer looking to Billy Hunter, and he gives him some communicating signs whether to take or swing on 2-0. Let's find out. He takes and it's low. 3 balls, no strikes. Fingers to Palmer. Strike is called. 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, Palmer has stepped out and looks over carefully those Billy Hunter third base coaching signs. Fingers into Palmer. Strike 2 is called. He bends it right to the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fingers, just like Palmer, likes to work rapidly and if he can, get into a groove. Pay pitch to Jim Palmer, fouled away straight back. We're going to keep right at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the Orioles move on tonight to Kansas City. The Oakland Ball Club will be staying right here against Cleveland. Here's another Palmer foul. The Indians come in this weekend, and the Indians, you know, of late have been having a lot of trouble winning ball games. Fingers against Palmer again. 3-2, high, and Palmer draws a walk. That's the first walk given up by Roland Fingers, and for the Orioles, with Palmer, it provides them with the go-ahead run. On this cool Thursday afternoon here in Oakland, California, naturally Palmer wants to keep that good young right arm of his warm, and he's provided with a heavy jacket at first base. The leadoff man is up, and no better leadoff man in at least the American League and maybe in the majors right now than Don Buford. Buford is among the American League batting leaders with an average of .364. He flied to left field in the first inning. Buford now trying to race Palmer around the bases and leading at first base. Buford looking at strike 1. The next top leadoff man in the American League, average-wise back of Buford, is Minnesota's Cesar Tilvar. While Buford is batting .364, Tilvar is at .321. Against Buford, there's Bando, very wide of third and right back of the infield grass, with Campaneris and Green just about halfway at short and second. Mincher back of the bag and not holding on Palmer. Inside and low to Buford. 1 ball and 1 strike. Buford on the road trip right now is 10 for 28. Holding the bat on that rear shoulder. Waiting on Fingers' next pitch. He swings and he doesn't get it. He took a big rip up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Don. Buford wants to slow down Fingers as much as he can, so Don decides to move out. Now he's back inside that batter's box. Fingers ahead of Don. He deals him 1-2. Here's a high fly to the left field side. Rudy pacing back near the warning track, and Rudy for the putout. Out number 1 in the top of the third. Powell, in case you just tuned our way, Powell homered with 1 on in the top of the first inning. And then an inning later, in the bottom of the second inning, Dave Duncan hit a home run over the wall in center field with a man on for the 2-2 tie. 1 out, still 1 on. Palmer at first base, who began the inning by drawing a walk. And here's Blair. Blair was safe on an error by Campaneris in the first inning. Blair batting left-handed. Slider and a Fingers strike. Rudy comes in a bit in left field. Monday is straightaway in center. Jackson is normal depth. He's not too deep in right against Blair. Fingers with the arms draped down by the side. Now comes up setting at the belt. Goes outside and low to Blair. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. One delivery. Breaking ball. It has strike 2 looking. When the Kansas City series opens tomorrow night, we will have Pat Dobson against Mike Hedlund. Saturday, the afternoon game matches up Dave McNally against Wally Bunker. Sunday afternoon, it's Cuellar against Wright. 1-2. A swing and a foul tip. Blair and Fingers stay put at 1 ball and 2 strikes. That Dobson-Hedlund matchup tomorrow night, we'll see the Orioles test a fellow who has yet to be licked. Hedlund has won 3 without a defeat. The look by Fingers to first, and his pitch to Blair. Lined out to right field. It is a fair ball, and it rolls to the corner. Here's Palmer around third base, and he's being held up by Billy Hunter. A double out to right field and just inside the foul stripe. For Blair, his 3rd double. So 2 Orioles now are posted on the bases. Blair at second, and Palmer at third, and Dave Johnson coming up in the clutch. That is the 2nd hit off Fingers. Johnson again trying to extend his hitting streak, which has seen him hit safely in 17 straight games. When we began this road trip in Detroit, Johnson's average was .333. Right now it is .353. Johnson tops the Orioles in base hits. He and Powell right now in a tie for the RBI team leadership at 17. A strike ripped into Johnson. Mincher on the right side is right back of the grass. Campaneris is about halfway at short. Green a little bit deeper at second. Bando is back halfway at third. Palmer at third leading. And Blair off second. The 1-strike delivery is lined to left field. It hangs on the foul line. Then deep in left it curves foul. So Johnson got a lot of at-bat on the ball. No balls and 2 strikes. There is activity right now in the Oakland bullpen with the ex-Yankees. Left-hander Gardner and right-hander Klimkowski. Good lead by Blair. Pretty good edge by Palmer off third. Johnson is down 0-2. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good spot for Johnson to pick up some people. Blair off second, Palmer off third, only 1 away in a 2-2 third inning tie. Johnson on the 1-2. Takes low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Green now, who had been back on the right side of the infield when Johnson first came up. Green now comes in a little bit more. Minter still staying tight, wide of the first base foul line behind the grass. 2-2 to Dave. Low outside. He had a notion but stopped his swing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The on-deck man is Powell. First base is not occupied, but second and third are with Blair and Palmer. Fingers looking to Duncan. Winds. Here's his 3-2 pitch to Johnson. Outside, ball 4. They are loaded. And the bases are loaded up for Powell. That is the 2nd walk by Fingers, and both this inning. Palmer, who was the leadoff man to get the ticket, is still at third. Blair at second. Johnson at first. Well, let's see what the Oakland infield decides to do with the bases jammed now and Powell up there. It will play Mincher at first base about halfway. It will also play Campaneris and Green about halfway. How about Bando? He is well off the line. He is also about halfway. Here's Campaneris now, moving back a little bit deeper at short. Bases jammed for Powell. Palmer, Blair, Johnson on the sacks. Fingers guns in the first pitch. Strike one called. Dealt high to Boog. Boog lined and rocked a homer over the wall in right field with Blair aboard in the first inning to get the Orioles on top quickly and smartly 2-0. It is now a 2-2 tie in the top of the third. Powell waving the bat. Here's the full windup by Fingers. His next pitch, foul, right back. That was a jammer right into Boog's letters. 0-2 is the count. Rettenmund is standing on deck. Palmer moving out of the batter's box. Now he gets back to his business inside. Fingers is ahead, 0-2. 3 runners lead, just one away. The pitch to Boog. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. That's a big out for the Oakland A's and naturally for Fingers. His 4th strikeout. His first strikeout was Rettenmund in the first inning. And here's Merv. Bird's provided here in the third with a golden opportunity to go back ahead. The infield now with 2 away will back up to normal depth. Rettenmund's average is .278. He is 2 for 7 in the series. Rettenmund way back deep to the box and well off the plate. Johnson at first, Blair at second, Palmer leads at third. Breaking ball snaps low and tight, ball 1. The power alley in right center is wide open for Rettenmund with Jackson, the right fielder, playing towards the right field foul line. The 1-0 delivery by the right-hander is a strike called. 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander Gardner and the right-hander Klimkowski still throwing rapidly in the Oakland bullpen. Real good lead by Johnson. Good lead by Blair. Good lead by Palmer. 1-1 to Merv. On the outside corner, strike 2 call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fingers just got tough against Powell. Struck him out with the bases loaded. He's now getting tough against Rettenmund. He's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fingers looking to Duncan. He starts to nod and says okay. Winding, he throws. 1-2. Here's a high pop-up. It sends Green into shallow right. It brings in Jackson from right. Jackson puts it away to Tyler's side. In the third, no runs, 1 hit, 3 left. Into 2.5 innings of play. Baltimore 2, Oakland 2.
The league scoreboard, the Expos just grabbed 3 big ones in the top of the 9th inning, and now they lead the Chicago Cubs 7-6. And the Bruins are batting in the bottom of the 9th inning. New York and St. Louis are at it in St. Louis this afternoon. It's the Mets 7 and the Cardinals nothing. They're in the last half of the 8th inning. And Cincinnati defeated San Diego by a count of 4-2. Tonight in the American League, Chicago's in Washington, Minnesota and Boston, Cleveland will be in California, and in the National League tonight, the Dodgers in Pittsburgh and the Giants in Atlanta.
Here's the Oakland home third now with Rudy, Jackson, and Don Mincher, and we've got a 2-2 standoff between Palmer and Fingers, a matchup of right-handers here this afternoon in the Oakland Coliseum. Palmer made Rudy foul out to Dalrymple in the first inning. His curve is on the outside edge to the right-hand batting Rudy. Strike 1. Rudy batting at .262, shows 4 homers, 10 RBIs, and 3 hits in this series. The 1 strike from Big Palmer is too low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Palmer, 3 wins on the year, no defeats, and making his 5th start. Rudy to Palmer's 1-1er. Swings, he doesn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Palmer's victories this year have been at home against the Tigers, on the road against the Indians and the California Angels. He rips into 1-2. Here's a high fly to right field. Rettenmund went back and now striding in. And Ruth has it for out number 1. One gone in the Oakland third, and Reggie Jackson will be up. See, one of the big days for the weekend series when the Oakland A's will be at Memorial Stadium will be a week from Sunday, which of course will be Bat Day. And as we always have on Sunday, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people come down, especially from York, Pennsylvania. And you can get advance ticket reservations in York at the Hochul Cone Company or at Scott Stevens Sporting Goods. High and kind of tight to Jackson, ball 1. Jackson was walked by Palmer in the first inning. That ticket location of the Scott Stevens Sporting Goods Company in York, PA is at West Market Street. The 1-0 is tight again, 2 balls and no strikes. The Hochul Cone Company location in York, Pennsylvania is also on Market Street, but it's East Market Street at 2801. Jackson ahead of Palmer. Palmer began his windup, and then Jackson suddenly stepped out on him, and plate umpire Umont called time. One away, base is empty. Now Palmer delivers. He's low this time to Reggie. 3 balls and no strikes. Palmer gave up 3 hits, including Duncan's 2-run homer last inning. He has fanned 3. Jackson ahead. Palmer trying to come back. Swing and a miss. They green-lighted Jackson 3-0. Jackson and Palmer at 3 balls and 1 strike, with Mincher standing on deck. Jackson taking time getting reset. Palmer goes to work on him. He hits a ground foul out towards first. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson, tough customer, powerful left-hand pull hitter. Palmer 3-2ing. Jackson. Here's a line shot to left field for a base hit. So Jackson, with an opposite field single now, has been a base runner twice with a first-inning walk, and this 1-out third-inning base hit to left field. Don Mincher is the batter. He forced Jackson for the final out in the first inning. You know, we talk about fellows like Tony Conigliaro having great comebacks after being hit by a pitch. Well, this fellow had a fantastic comeback because in 1968, a Sam McDowell fastball hit Mincher right in the jaw. Mincher up with 1 away as Palmer makes a move to first base, and Jackson is back. Bando will bat next after Mincher here in the 8th third. Palmer turns quickly and throws in the dirt, and it's picked off by Powell. Jackson gets a pretty good lead at first base. Palmer now delivers Mincher. He hits a towering fly to left center. Buford is getting back. Buford is there. Jackson tagging at first base. He bluffs going to second as Buford makes the putout. Out number 2 in the bottom of the third. Bando is up, and he was on when Duncan delivered that second inning home run. Bando 6 hits in this series. The speedy Jackson with his lead, and Palmer works against his lead and throws to first for the lead. 2 out, 1 on. Here's Palmer breaking contact with the rubber, but Jackson stays right where he is. And as Palmer broke contact, Bando stepped out. First pitch to Bando. Good. Palmer fastball blazing in belt high, strike 1. One strike to Bando. The set by Palmer. His delivery backs Bando right out of the box. That was a fastball in right to his left shoulder. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Orioles right now on this road trip have won 3. They have lost 5. Bando leaning back on that rear foot, and he'll have to wait because Palmer again throws over to Powell, but late. Palmer did a lot of work like this against Jackson when he walked in the first inning. The 1-1, Jackson is running. The pitch is low. The throw is in the dirt to second and late, and goes into center field. Here's Jackson up and going to third as Blair comes up with the ball in shallow center. An error charge to Dalrymple on a throw in the dirt in front of second base. So Jackson with a steal and advancing further on the bad throw. Charged Dalrymple with an error. The count to Bando on that Palmer low pitch is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Palmer's last outing was in Anaheim against the Angels, and he licked California 7-1 in a 6-hitter. Bando putting a lot of that weight again on that rear foot as Jackson strides off third. The 2-ball, 1-strike pitch is high. 3-1. 2 gone here in the Oakland third. Bando, of course, has never been known as an easy out. He shows 5 homers. He's the Oakland club leader in RBIs with 17, and he's batting at .282. Palmer behind Bando at 3-1, trying to work his way back with this pitch. Here's a high pop-up towards Powell and Johnson. They're both back on the outfield grass. Johnson makes the running catch right near the foul line to retire Bando on the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left at the end of 3. Orioles 2, Oakland 2.
One of the big days of the Oriole baseball year will roll around the Sunday afternoon, May the 9th, when the Birds will host these Oakland A's at Memorial Stadium. That day is Bat Day, and every youngster 14 and under, accompanied by a paying adult, will receive an approved Little League baseball bat. That's Bat Day, Sunday, May the 9th, the O's and the A's.
Well, let's hope that Brooks Robinson now can get things stirring here in the top of the 4th inning. Fingers struck him out in the 2nd inning. He breaks one off to the outside corner, strike 1. Brooks and Clay Dalrymple and Mark Belanger, top of the 4th inning. The next pitch by Fingers is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brooks Robinson. Brooks batting at .222, has 1 home run and 6 RBIs. And now suddenly time is called, and the sun begins to peek out through some clouds, and that causes Bando and Campaneris both to ask for time to come over near the Oakland dugout and ask for the sunglasses. It's also bringing in Rudy from left field and Monday from center field. We have quite a few scattered broken clouds upstairs. A little bit of blue shining through now, and also some sunshine. Here's Rudy now, putting the glasses on, going back to left. Monday has gone back to center. Campaneris and Bando both ready again at short and third. Fingers still waiting for Rudy now to gallop back out into left field. Rudy says, I'm all set. Umont says, okay, Fingers, let's get going. 1-1 to Brooks Robinson. Low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's a check swing and a foul. Brooks took a half cut and was fouled right back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Duncan back behind the plate in his crouch. Now he'll set that knee-high target to Brooks Robinson. 2-2 delivery. A high fly into shallow right. Green from second and Jackson from right. The call is by Jackson and for the putout also. Out number 1 in the top of the 4th inning. Clay Dalrymple is the batter. He came to the plate with 1 out in the 2nd inning and bounced out. Second baseman Green to Mincher. Dalrymple, of course, is from this part of the country. He was raised in Chico, California, but now he resides in the state of Pennsylvania. Left-hand batting Dalrymple against Fingers. A line drive right past the mound, and there's Dalrymple's first base hit of 1971. So Dalrymple is the tie-breaking run at first base, and Belanger trying to do something about it. Belanger struck out in the 2nd inning. Dalrymple's 1 out single up the middle is hit number 3 by the Orioles off Fingers. Duncan now reminding Fingers of many things, including the fact there's 1 man out. Mincher goes bird dogging at first base and holds on Dalrymple. Here's a check swing and a foul strike back of the plate. Mincher now has walked about halfway between first base and the mound, and he is reminding Fingers that he will no longer hold on Dalrymple's lead. The next pitch to Belanger, a strike is called. 0-2. Although Mincher is not holding on Dalrymple, he's only a step or so back of Clay's lead. Fingers watching Duncan. Now he's looking to Dalrymple's short edge. 0-2 to Belanger. Swing, and he strikes out. 5 strikeouts for right-hander Raleigh Fingers, and we'll pause for station identification. This is the Baltimore Oriole Baseball Network.
This is Bob Jones saying if you want to keep informed, Don Gary will do it. Hear Don's reports regularly on Radio 11, WBAL in Baltimore.
Together with Chuck Thompson, Bill O'Donnell back with you again at the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. Jim Palmer is the Oriole batter. Dalrymple off first base, a 2-2 tie, and 2 men out. Sidearm breaking pitch. Gets Palmer lunging, swinging and missing, strike 1. 6'4", 24-year-old Oakland right-hander Raleigh Fingers with a set and the look, and now his next pitch, a swing and a miss on another breaking ball. 0-2. Fingers had a strikeout in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. He has another one here in the 4th inning. The 0-2 to Palmer. Swing and another strikeout. 6 strikeouts by Fingers, and the side retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left after 3.5 innings of play. Orioles 2, Oakland 2.
Well, a couple of finals have been posted in the National League at the Wrigley Field this afternoon. The Expos, with a 3-run surge in the 9th inning, defeat the Cubs 7-6, and the New York Mets have shut out the St. Louis Cardinals by a count of 7-0.
In the Oakland 4th inning, Monday, Duncan and Green against Jim Palmer. Palmer's given up 4 base hits. Fastball cut at and missed by Monday, and that's strike 1. Monday looked at strike 3 from Palmer in the 2nd inning. So the A's have been nothing but satisfied, I'm sure, since Monday came into their organization in 1965. He's down 1 strike, runs up to bunt, but Palmer's pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last season, Monday had his highest major league batting average when he finished the year at 290. He's kind of tough to figure out. He'll pull the ball once in a while, and he also go to the opposite field. Left-hand batting Monday on Palmer's 1-1 delivery. It's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Palmer at the pump, rocks and deals 2-1. He's low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Monday, a native of Batesville, Arkansas. Since the club came out here to Oakland in 68, Monday has resided out here. He takes the strike to his knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Monday is very annoyed. He started to step down the first base foul line. Instead, he's got to come back at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Monday stepping in. Palmer now will start to rock back and stride in. Works 3-2. A line drive past Palmer and out to center field for a base hit. Palmer reached down for that line smash and could not get it. It went rocking by him just about knee high. A base hit up the middle blasted by Monday. And it's hit number 5 for the A's today. Monday at first, nobody gone, and the batter is Duncan. Duncan cleared the wall in center field with a 2-run 2nd inning homer, and we have been 2-2 since that blast. Powell anchored at first base and holding on Monday. Duncan, well-built, right-hand batting, Oakland receiver. Palmer's look to first. His pitch is outside, ball 1. Palmer ready to come back to Duncan after Duncan steps out and now back inside. Monday leading. He'll retreat to first base on Palmer's toss that way. Duncan batting at 246. His 2nd inning home run was his 2nd of the year. Back is Palmer 1-0. A high fly, left center field. Blair from center is there. Calls off Buford and Blair for the first down. One gone in the Oakland fourth inning, and the next batter is Dick Green. In Palmer's first win of the year, which was a root-going job at home against the Tigers, he was in trouble early with control and then settled down the rest of the way. His victory over the Indians at Cleveland, he won the game 6-4. His win against the Angels was his best job of the year, and that was his most recent start. First pitch to Green, and he fouls it off. In that start at Anaheim, Palmer never gave up more than a hit an inning, and only one hit over the last 4 innings. He's in a 2-2 tie with the A's here in the bottom of the fourth as he sends Monday back to first base throwing that way. The count to Dick Green is 1 strike. Palmer fanned him in the second inning. 1 on, 1 away. Good fastball as it comes in knee-high for strike 2 looking. Green the batter, and pitcher Fingers is on deck. Palmer ahead. He's going to try to shut the door on Dick Green. No balls and 2 strikes. He throws. Here's another foul coming back. Palmer's only non-decision outing this season was in Detroit against the Tigers when he went out after 5 innings trailing 5-0. But that was a game the Orioles eventually tied in the 8th inning at 6-6 before the Tigers won it 6-5. Green, just like the Orioles' Dave McNally, ironically enough, never played high school baseball, but he gained his experience in the American Legion. Strike 3, a Palmer changeup completely baffles Green. There's Palmer's 4th strikeout this afternoon, and it's his 2nd out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Batter is pitcher Raleigh Fingers, who picked on a Palmer pitch and had an opposite field right field single in the 2nd inning. Two gone after Monday's leadoff line hit to center. Start of this bottom of the 4th. Slow curve drops outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Monday with an average lead at first base and stays. Here's a foul back over the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Raleigh Fingers. Fingers a pretty good size, 24-year-older. He measures 6'4", and he weighs 180 pounds. Fingers to Palmer's 1-1. It's another foul back over the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fingers born back east in Steubenville, Ohio, but resides out here in the state of California. Fingers well off the plate, slightly closing his stance. Takes strike 3 called, and he knew it at his knees. 5 strikeouts now for Palmer, and 4 innings are over with a score. The Orioles 2 and the Oakland A's 2.
On Sunday afternoon, May the 9th, we've told you about Bat Day. I'd like to also bring you up to date on the complete 9-game homestand. It will start Tuesday night with the California Angels, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then Friday night, the Oakland A's are in. They're also in for a Saturday night game. Now, that Saturday night game against the A's begins at 7 o'clock. And then Sunday afternoon, the 9th, we'll have our Bat Day at 2 o'clock. And then the finale of the homestand will be a 3-game series against the KC Royals, May the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
2-2 tie, Chuck, and here we go with Don Buford in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch by Fingers is high inside, ball 1. Buford has flied twice to left fielder Rudy in the 1st and 3rd innings. Buford, Blair, and Johnson in the top of the 5th. 1-0 to Buford. Changeup is low, 2 balls and no strikes. We told you earlier when Buford was up that he's 3rd in the American League among the batting leaders at 364. Oliva leads the league at 397, followed by Mercer at 379. Buford ahead of Raleigh Fingers, 2-0. Strike 1 is called. After Buford 364, there's Yastrzemski at 354, then Dave Johnson 353, and the surprising Paul Shaw of Kansas City at 338. 2-1 to Buford. He bunts up in the air to the right of the mound. Coming on as Green picks it up, throws just in time to get Buford at first base. A bunt past the mound, charged quickly and neatly by Green, and Green has tossed out Don Buford. 1 gone now on the top of inning 5, and here's Paul Blair. Blair was safe on an error by Campaneris in the 1st inning. He doubled to right field in the 3rd. Bando plays him tight and inside the bag of third. A swing and a ground ball is foul down the first base side. One strike to Blair, who is 2 for 13 in this 4-game series so far. The next fingers toss. Cut out and missed. 0-2. Johnson is the man on deck here in the top of the 5th inning. Two strikes to Blair in a 2-2 5th inning tie. Fingers works right to the plate. He's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The outfield spread extremely wide for Blair. Rudy in left, a bit to the foul line. Monday dead center, and Jackson to the right field foul line. Blair on fingers 1-2. Strokes a foul over the Oakland dugout. 1-2 to Blair. The Kansas City weekend series will find us play a night game there tomorrow. Dobson against Edlin. A day game Saturday, McNally against Bunker, and a day game Sunday. Breaking ball is strike 3, letter high to Blair. 7 strikeouts for Fingers in less than 5 innings. 2 men gone in the 5th, and here's Johnson. Johnson lined to the center fielder Monday in the 1st. He drew a walk in the 3rd. Fingers does his work and delivers, and here's a high fly to center field. Monday going over to his left, back deeper, and on the run makes the grab in front of the warning track. Fingers sets down the Orioles 1-2-3 at the end of 4.5 innings of play. Baltimore 2, Oakland 2. For those of you listening this afternoon who live in Annapolis, Maryland, and would like to make ticket plans for the next Oriole homestand, and that's the stand that starts next Tuesday night against Lefty Phillips and the California Angels. If you live in Annapolis, Maryland, tickets for the next homestand available at Hacks, 134 Main Street. Now let's get over to Chuck Thompson.
And here's that Bert Campaneris, first ball hitting, a ground ball bouncing over Brooks Robinson's head at third and out into left field for a base hit. Campaneris' 7th hit in this Oriole series. Leadoff single by Campaneris, and that puts a lot of pressure on any kind of a pitcher, particularly a fellow with a big motion such as Jim Palmer. Campaneris with fine speed, and now Boog Powell is getting some information out of the Oriole dugout. And the first base umpire, Lou DeMuro, is coming down the line, and I think it may have something to do with a camera that is sticking out over the edge of the railing that forms a pathway for the Orioles and the Oakland A's to move to and from the clubhouse in their dugouts. Kind of a restraining wall, I guess you could call it. It's very light. And now Umont is coming over looking to manager Dick Williams, and he, I think, wants that camera moved. It is jutting out over onto the playing area. And, of course, it could interfere with a catch of the ball. So with Campaneris at first, here now is Joe Rudy. Palmer throws, and here's a bunt foul off the first base side, strike 1. Rudy is 0 for 2 this afternoon. Well, the Oakland A's have had a little pressure on Palmer in every inning. That is to say, they have had at least a man on base each and every inning. The leadoff single by Campaneris. It was a routine ground ball toward Brooks at third. He was ready to make the play and just took a big hop over his head to left field for the base hit. And now the one-strike offering to Rudy, who was bunting on the first pitch. A throw to first, no play. The speedy Campaneris is back safely. The stretch and set by Palmer. The pitch is bunted right out toward the mound. Palmer makes the pick up, no play at second. The throw to first base is high, but Johnson came down over the head of the sacrificing Joe Rudy. Down to second base on the play goes Campaneris. The sacrifice on the part of Rudy advances him that far. One out, and now here's Reggie Jackson. Reggie walked in the first inning off Palmer and then singled sharply to left field in the third inning, stole second base, and took third on a throwing error charged to Oriole catcher Dalrymple. This is a violent swinger, is Reggie Jackson. It's all or nothing with this young man. He really lashes at the pitch. Palmer throws check swing foul. Is out of play on the third base side. Strike one to Reggie. Well, Boog Powell's home run bat got the Orioles off to a 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning, and then Dave Duncan equalized that with a home run for the A's in the bottom of the second. And that's where we are right now at a 2-2 tie. And the A's threatening to break it with one out. Campaneris at second, and the one-strike pitch to Reggie Jackson. Palmer looks to second, comes to the plate, strike call. 0-2 to Reggie. Jackson requested the plate umpire to take a look at the baseball. Apparently it was all right, so they keep it in play. Well, the Birds battling to get a split here in Oakland this afternoon. They're down 2-1 to the rejuvenated Oakland A's. They've got a lot of fine young talent, this ball club. Palmer's pitch, swinging a foul over the screen, and the count holds at 2 strikes. Palmer jammed to Jackson. The Birds had a bit of an opportunity to break up the 2-2 tie, and were unable to do so. They had a bases-loaded situation with only one out in the third inning and couldn't get a run across. It's the fourth time in this series the Orioles had left 3 men on the bases. 2 strikes to Jackson. Palmer reading signs. Flash by Dalrymple. He's ready to go. The big right-hander fires high and outside. 1-2. The O's 3 wins and 5 defeats in this road trip, and simply explained, the ball club is just not getting the hitting they need from the 3 big men, Frank, Brooks, and Boog. Jackson decides that Palmer is taking a little bit too much time, so he backs out. And we have a very brief lull. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reggie, 1 out in the inning. Campaneris the runner at second base. Palmer ready to work once more. The big right-hander checks. Campaneris delivers. Here's a high pop foul out of play behind the plate. And the count continues. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Birds with 2 runs and 3 hits, and the Oakland A's 2 runs and 6 hits. And now suddenly Palmer backs off the mound, goes to his mouth, and Dalrymple charges out there to have a little chat with Palmer. Palmer seems just, a trifle uneasy. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reggie. And the pitch on the way. Swinging a ground ball down the first base side. A slow roller. Powell is there with a one-handed pickup. Goes for the bag just in time. And Campaneris races on to third after the play. Jackson retired on an unassisted putout by Boog Powell. Move Campaneris to third and bring in Big Minch, Don Mincher. Many years ago, the Senators and the Chicago White Sox engineered a deal concerning Earl Batty. He was the principal figure in the deal, and the throw-in on that deal was the man at the plate, Don Mincher. He was quite a throw-in. As Bill mentioned, he's had some very productive years and is truly a long ball threat. He is 0 for 2 against Palmer this afternoon. Palmer's pitch to Mincher. High fly ball, left field, fairly deep. Buford going back. Out near the warning track, Buford is there, settles down, makes the catch, and that's it for Mincher and the A's in the 5th inning. At the end of 5, Baltimore 2, Oakland 2. The Oriole half of the 6th inning in our 2-2 tie, and it'll be Boog Powell, Merv Retman, and Brooks Robinson in that order against Raleigh Fingers. Fingers has spanned 7 of the O's through the first 5 innings. Pitch to Boog Powell, a changeup, but it stayed outside, ball 1. Fingers has spanned 3 of the last 7 men he has faced, 4 of the last 9. Now the 1-0 pitch coming down to Powell. The right-hander delivers. Checks his swing and takes the ball 2 low and inside. 2-0 the count to Boog Powell. A 2-run home run for Boog in the first inning. His 5th home run of the year. And that mounts the RBI total now to 17. Fingers rocks and delivers. Swinging a ground ball toward first baseman Mincher. He's got it in fair ground, drops it in foul ground, recovers, and then waits for Boog and makes the tag. Mincher made the grab in fair ground, dropped the ball. It caromed off into foul ground. He raced out and made the pickup, and then stood there and waited for Powell and made the tag. So the unassisted putout to Don Mincher. 1 away in the Oriole half of the 6th inning, and now Merv Retman, who is 0 for 2 against Raleigh Fingers. struck out on the first fly to right field in the third inning. Fingers has now retired 6 in a row. First offering to the waiting Rettenmund. Strike over the outside corner at the knees. Well, we're seeing something now that we haven't seen since we came to this part of California. A little bit of sunshine. And it's a most welcome sight, but unfortunately just a very little bit. 1 strike offering. Outside came on through catcher Duncan to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bando at third, Campanera's short. Dick Green, the second baseman, and Don Mincher at first this afternoon. The A's outfield control has Rudy in left, Mundy in center, and Jackson in right field. The 1-1 to Rettenmund. High inside, 2 balls and a strike. Fingers a little bit like Diego Segui of this staff in that he has the capability of doing a lot of things. He can help you as a short reliever. He can also help you as a long reliever, and he can be used as a spot starter. 2-1, the count to the batter. Merv Rettenmund as Fingers delivers. Strike is called. A breaking pitch outside corner, letter high. 2-2 to Merv Rettenmund. The Fingers pitch. Low on the ball, so we have a full count, and Fingers has gone this way quite a few times this afternoon. About 5 full counts from the 6'4" right-hander. And here now the payoff pitch to Rettenmund with 1 out and nobody on. Struck him out, swing and a miss. Rettenmund goes down. Strikeout number 8 for the Oakland right-hander. And here is Brooks Robinson, plagued by a horrendous slump. He is 0 for 13 in the Oakland series and has but 2 base hits in his last 33 at-bats. Fingers into the move, delivers. Lifted foul, going to be out of play off the first base side. Strike 1 to Brooks. Now the 1-strike pitch. Swing and a foul tip into Duncan's mitt. Oh, and 2 to Brooks with 2 down and nobody on. Too high for a ball, 1-2. Fingers has set down 7 Orioles in a row since a 4th inning single by Clay Dalrymple. The 1-2 to Brooks. Fly ball, right field way, back and waiting Jackson. Now he goes a little bit to his left and makes the catch. For the final out of the inning, 8 in a row have gone down now at the end of 5.5. Orioles 2, Oakland 2.
This is the only American League day game. There will be 3 games this evening. At Anaheim, the Angels take on the Indians tonight with Foster against Murphy. And the other 2 clubs with whom the Orioles are tied for first place right now, the Senators and the Red Sox, will both be active tonight. Washington plays at home against Chicago with Bradley against Bosman. The Red Sox are also home tonight. They take on the Minnesota Twins. It will be Jim Cott for the Twins and Mike Nagy tonight for the Red Sox. Here we go now with the A's and the bottom of the 6th inning to Chuck Thompson.
Sal Bando has been just a rough competitor against the Orioles in this 4-game series. He singled in the 2nd inning, a little bit of a bloop to center field, and got the free ride home on the Duncan home run ball. Palmer breaks the curveball through the strike zone. Strike called at Bando. Second time up, he popped to the second baseman. Looks at a fastball high to make the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bando deep in the box, and his stance is open just ever so slightly. The 1-1. Missed outside and low. 2-1 now to Sal. Very muscular young man is Bando. Stockily built. Just a fine young ball player. The 2-1 to Bando. High pop foul. It may be out of play. Dalrymple coming back toward the screen, giving it a look, and it is out of his reach and out of play. So we'll pause on that foul ball for station identification. This is the Baltimore Oriole Baseball Network.
Don Spad speaking, urging you to be fully informed on what's going on in the world. Hear Ken Jackson's newscast on Radio 11 WBAL Baltimore.
Palmer getting ready with a 2-2 offering to the right-hand swinging Bando. Here it is. Struck him out. Swing and a miss. Bando goes down. For Jim Palmer, strikeout number 6. And Palmer now has retired 4 in a row following the Campaneris leadoff single. The batter will be Rick Mundy. Mundy looked at a third strike in the second inning and then spanked a single by Palmer into center field in the fourth inning. Left-handed batsman is Mundy, and he's a very deliberate type of hitter. It takes him a good little time to get set. Palmer waits into the move and the pitch. Line foul going to be out of play on the third base side. Strike 1 to Rick Mundy. On to Kansas City after we finish here this afternoon. And I guess you'd have to say the percentages are running now in favor of the Kansas City Royals. The Orioles have defeated the Kansas City Royals 23 consecutive games. 1 strike, the count to Mundy. It's in the dirt for a ball, 1-1. So tomorrow night in Kansas City, Pat Dobson will go for the Orioles. Pat, who pitched just brilliantly his last time out and got nothing to show for it but a loss. Mike Hedlund will oppose him. Pitch, swing, ground ball, hit towards second baseman Johnson. He's got on a knee-high hop, throw to first for the second out. 2 gone. Now Dave Duncan powered a home run just over the barrier in center field with Bando aboard in the second inning. And then he skied to the center fielder Blair in the fourth inning. In the brief looks we have had at the Western Division clubs, the Angels and the Oakland A's, certainly these 2 clubs look to be a bit improved over a year ago. Strike is called. Palmer broke a fine curveball to Duncan. And this club in particular, the Oakland A's, after dropping their first 3, then were just red hot and raced out to a 7-game winning streak. And the 1-strike pitch, another curveball, and this one misses, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Dalrymple turns right around to look at Umont on that last pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Weaver also yelping to Umont from the dugout. Now the 1-1 pitch coming, low outside, ball 2, 2-1. A 2-2 tie here in the Oakland half of the 6th inning. All of the scoring on home runs, the 2-run blast by Powell and the 2-run blast by this man, Duncan. Swing, and he didn't get it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saturday afternoon, Dave McNally will go against his former teammate, Wally Bunker, in Kansas City. Then the wrap-up and the best game of any road trip, the last one, will feature Mike Cuellar Sunday afternoon against Ken Wright. The 2-2 pitch to Duncan curved him in the dirt to fill the count, 3-2. Palmer working right along. The big right-hander's 3-2 pitch, swinging a fly ball, well hit deep left field. Back is Buford near the warning track. He's getting under it, and Buford makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 6 complete. Baltimore 2, Oakland 2.
You parents with youngsters celebrating birthdays this summer might well be interested in the Orioles birthday party program. Here's how it works. For a minimum of 6 people, including at least 1 adult, the Orioles provide mezzanine box seats to a game of your choice, a birthday cake, a hot dog, soft drink, and a bag of peanuts, a surprise birthday gift, and souvenirs for everybody in the party. To get more information, call 243-9800, 243-9800, and ask for the Public Relations Office.
Okay, Bill, that's good advice. Here is Fingers to the move, and the first offering to Dalrymple is a good breaking pitch, and strike is called. Play grounded to second, and then single to center field. His second time on. Since that time, Fingers has retired everyone in order. He is low now to Dalrymple, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Fingers has retired 8 in a row, has struck out 8 of the Orioles this afternoon, and is battling with a 2-2 tie. The pitch to Dalrymple, swinging a high fly ball to right field. Jackson coming toward the foul line, still coming across the foul line and foul ground. Jackson makes the catch. Dalrymple retired on a foul ball to the right fielder, Reggie Jackson. And now Mark Belanger, he is 0 for 2 this afternoon against Raleigh Fingers. As a matter of fact, he has struck out both times on in the second and again in the fourth. Belanger stands in, waiting the first offering from 6'4" Roland Fingers, and here it is. Outside to the blade, ball one. And the 1-0 pitch to Mark Belanger. Swinging a lifted pop-up foul, first base side. Catcher Duncan going over after it, and he's got plenty of room and makes the grab to retire Belanger. 10 in a row have gone down now since Dalrymple singled in the 4th inning. Here now is Jim Palmer. He walked his first time up in the 3rd inning and then struck out in the 4th. That was the Orioles' best opportunity to break up the 2-2 tie back in the 3rd inning when they had the bases loaded with only 1 out. But Fingers, like all good ones do, reached back for that little extra and got the strikeout on Powell, and then got Rettman to fly to right field and stranded 3 of the O's. Fingers' first offering to Palmer. Swing and a miss, strike 1. One strike pitch to Palmer. He squares the bunt, bunts foul on the first base side. 2 strikes to Jim. The attendance this afternoon in Oakland is 3,320 paid, so in 4 games, 3 nights and a day. The 2-strike pitch to Palmer struck him out, and that's strikeout number 9. 11 in a row have gone down at the end of 6.5. Baltimore 2, Oakland 2.
Well, friends, if you live in Aberdeen, Maryland, and you'd like to come to see the Orioles against the Oakland A's on that bat day, Sunday afternoon, the 9th of May, if you live in Aberdeen, ticket reservations are available at the Aberdeen Hobby and Sports Shop. It's on Route 40 in Aberdeen, and Mr. Ellis Friedlander is in charge. If you live in Bel Air, Maryland, and you're going to come to Bat Day on the 9th of May, go to Cortland Hardware. That's Cortland Hardware, 101 South Main Street, and talk to Mr. Eugene Graybeal. All right, Chuck.
All ready to go with Dick Green against Jim Palmer, starting the bottom of the inning, and here's the check swing foul ball to the screen. Green has struck out both times on against Palmer this afternoon. Fingers has spanned 9 of the Orioles, and that equals the season high that's been reached by 2 other American League hurlers. Lovett struck out 9 of the O's, and so did Vida Blue here on Monday. Pitch. Curve is outside, and the count to Dick Green, 1 ball, 1 strike. Both Palmer and his opponent, Fingers, have gotten into a fine groove through the middle innings here. Fingers has retired 11 in a row, and Palmer has now retired 6 in a row. And his 1-1 to Green. Curveball, but it missed low outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 to Green. Outside ball 3-1. We were saying a moment ago about the attendance here in Oakland that the 4 games in 4 dates, 3 nights and a day, have attracted less than 20,000 paying customers. 3-1 pitch. Strike is called to Green. 3-2 now. Palmer's 3-2 to Dick Green. Line drive is caught by the shortstop, Mark Belanger. A line drive right knee-high, and Belanger gloved it for the first out of the inning. 7 in a row have gone down now, and here is pitcher Roland Fingers. Fingers, as a hitter, has singled to center and looked at the 3rd strike. Now faces Palmer for the 3rd time this afternoon in the home half of the 7th inning of a 2-2 tie. And the Birds battling to get an even split against these tough Oakland A's. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Fingers. Right back, a ground ball is hit right up on the mound of Palmer. He gloves it to throw to first base, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. 8 in a row now retired by Palmer. And the top of the batting order, Bert Campaneris. In the 1st inning, he bounced to the mound. In the 2nd inning, he struck out. In the 5th inning, he opened with a single. Ground ball toward Brooks at 3rd. It took the bad hop, went way up over Brooks' head and out into left field for the base knock. Palmer toughened up, however, and got the next 3. Campaneris hits about a middle of the box out of a closed stance. Palmer's pitch is a strike over the outside portion of the letters. 1 strike to Campaneris. And the one-strike pitch. High pop foul outside of first. Boog Powell should have the room. Coming over, getting under it now. The big first baseman is there and makes the catch. For the final out of the inning, 3 up and 3 down. 9 in a row now for Palmer. At the end of 7, Orioles 2, Oakland 2.
Along the Oriole Radio Network tomorrow night when we start the 3-game series in Kansas City. Pat Dobson against Mike Hedlund, and our airtime will be 8:25 p.m. The Saturday afternoon game with Dave McNally against Wally Bunker. Airtime will be 2:25 Saturday, and the same time for Sunday, 2:25 for the final game of the road trip when Mike Cuellar takes on Ken Wright. Here we go now with the top of the 8th inning. Raleigh Fingers takes on Don Buford, and here's Chuck.
Well, Buford against Fingers this afternoon, 0 for 3. Fly to left twice, tried to bunt his way on in the 5th inning, was thrown out by Dick Green. The pitch, look out, high and tight. Buford drops out of the way. Ball 1. The last base hit allowed by Fingers, a single by Dalrymple with 1 out in the 4th inning, and since then he's retired the Orioles in order. 11 in a row. The 1-0 to Buford. Swing at a change-up curve from Fingers. 1-1. And the 1-1 offering coming to Buford. High fly ball, well hit deep to right. Jackson is back on the warning track, looking up. It is gone. A Buford home run. Buford has hammered his 3rd home run of the year into the seats in the right field corner to break the 2-2 tie.
Number 3 for Buford.
Buford's 3rd home run of the year, and for Don, it'll be his 4th base hit in this series, and his 9th run batted in. And more importantly, it breaks the 2-2 tie. 3-2, the Orioles, nobody out. And here now is Paul Blair. He reached on Campaneris' error in the 1st inning, doubled in the 3rd inning, and looked at a 3rd strike in the 5th. Paul is a left-handed swinger to the right-hand offerings of Fingers. Outside, ball 1. And they're getting a couple of pitchers going down in the Oakland bullpen, a left-hander and a right-hander. Lindblad, the left-hander, Bob Locker, the right-hander. The 1-0 to Blair. Ground ball hit towards second baseman Dick Green. He's got it. The throw on to first, and we have 1 gone. And now here is Dave Johnson with a 17-game hitting streak riding. And Dave in the 1st inning fly to center. He walked in the 3rd inning to load the bases and fly to center fielder Rick Mundy in the 5th inning. So he is 0 for 2 this afternoon. A couple of years ago, Boog Powell made a run at the club record of 20 consecutive games held by Bob Neiman of the Orioles. Boog ripped off hits in 18 consecutive games in 1969. The pitch to Johnson, swinging a foul out of play. Strike 1. The right-handed Raleigh Fingers all ready to go once more. The 1-strike offering to Dave. Swinging a ground ball off the 3rd base side. A beautiful grab by Bando, the 3rd baseman. He recovers and fires to first, and that's it for Dave Johnson. A fine defensive play from the Oakland 3rd baseman, Sal Bando. 2 quick steps to his left and extended the gloved hand and speared the hot shot ground ball, and Johnson is the 2nd out of the inning. Here now is Boog Powell. Boog homered with a man out in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd, and went out unassisted to Mincher, the 1st baseman, in the 6th inning. Duncan has just visited the hill to talk a little bit with his pitcher, Roland Fingers, and we're ready to go. The 1st offering to Powell, changed up, got the strike called just above the knees in the inside portion. 1 strike to Boog. And the 1-strike offering to the hulking Oriole 1st baseman. Fingers rocks over the rubber and throws, changed up again, and this one is inside low, and it hit Powell on the foot. He has been hit by the pitch. Boog is hit by the pitch. Takes first base, and that brings out Merv Rettenmund. Dick Williams now coming out to Umont and wants to know, he says, I didn't think the ball hit him. And Mr. Umont says, oh, sure it did. And he tried to explain how the ball hit him in the rear foot, his left foot. Got out of the way with the front foot, but could not get the rear foot out of the way. Umont, meantime, will take advantage of this brief lull to get a fresh supply of baseballs brought out there by the ball boy. Meantime, Redmond jumps in with Powell at first base and 2 away. And the Buford home run, the difference in the ball game as of the moment. 3-2 the Orioles. Powell leads first. The set by Fingers. The pitch to Redmond. Swing and a ground foul behind the plate. 1 strike. Look at that beautiful sunshine. Hope that those of you back home are having an enjoyable day. And more importantly, hope that we have some good weather for you in Baltimore so that you can enjoy the weekend. 1 strike. The count to the batter, Merv Redmond. The pitch. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. In truth, the Orioles, since they have left spring training in Florida, have had but maybe 1 or 2 warm days or evenings. The weather has just been cold. Pitch. Checked his swing, got the strike 2 called. So that's why everybody, of course, looking forward to getting back home on Sunday night and opening up against the Angels Tuesday night. The 1-2 pitch coming to Redmond. He held back on the swing, and it's a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Merv offered, but had good bat control. So the count is 2-2 to Merv Redmond. Powell at first base, 2 away. A run in on the Buford home run. 3-2 the Orioles. And Fingers, who is pitching just a great effort for the A's this afternoon, delivers 2-2 to Redmond. Here's a foul looped out of play behind the plate. And the 2-2 offering coming to Merv Redmond. Ground ball hit towards shortstop Campaneris, comes up in a nice belt-high hop. The flip over to Green forces Powell at second for the final out. A run, a base hit. No errors, the man left at the end of 7.5. Baltimore 3, Oakland 2.
Before the A's bat on the bottom of the 8th inning, here are the afternoon scores in the National League. Montreal with a late start scored a lot of runs in the late innings. Montreal, a run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th. After scoring a run back in the 3rd, Montreal beat the Cubs 7-6. The Mets blanked the Cardinals 7-0. Cincinnati beat San Diego and Tommy Phoebus. The Reds 4 and San Diego 2. Phoebus' record now 2 wins and 3 losses.
All right, Bill, here is Joe Rudy. He's the first of the due batters in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rudy, Reggie Jackson, and Don Mincher against Jim Palmer. Here in the last half of the 8th inning, Palmer's pitch is bunted down the third base side of the mound, fielded by Palmer. Throw to first base. He is out. Rudy tries to bunt his way on. Palmer off the mound very quickly, scooped up the bunt, and retires Rudy. 1 gone, the batter, Reggie Jackson. He walked in the first inning, singled in the 3rd, and went out unassisted to Powell in the 5th inning. Palmer now has retired 10 in a row. Left-hand swinging Reggie Jackson, waiting the first offering from Palmer. It's on the way and much too high. Ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch to Jackson. Curved ball, stays high and away, and the count now is 2 balls, no strikes. Well, we do hope that a lot of you are taking advantage of the opportunity to pick up your tickets in advance for the forthcoming homestand. The 2-0 is high again, 3-0 to Jackson. Palmer is getting behind to the free-swinging right fielder, Reggie Jackson. Jackson just flashed a quick look to third base coach Irv Norn. Earlier this afternoon, they released him on a 3-0. Here's Palmer's 3-0. He takes strike call. And it's difficult to say whether he had the go or not because Palmer had the pitch in a good position, up and away. 3-1 to Reggie Jackson. Palmer brings the arm down. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count fills 3-2. One out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning. Orioles 3 and Oakland 2. And Palmer battling the tough-hitting Reggie Jackson. The payoff pitch. High foul ball, third base side, maybe out of play, and is. So we'll go back to another 3-2 pitch. The Bird dugout, as always, a very live place and a lot of encouragement being directed toward Palmer and his teammates on the field. 3-2 pitch to Jackson. Ground ball sharply hit toward Johnson, the second baseman. He's got it. The throw to first. And we have 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Palmer is now retired 11 in a row. Campaneris, the last man to reach off Palmer in the 5th inning. 2 down. And here is Big Minch, Don Mincher, and he is always a threat. Mincher hit into a force in the first inning and then twice a slide to left fielder Don Buford. Palmer starts the move, and the big right-hander's pitch is high, ball one. The 1-0 pitch to Don Mincher. Palmer delivers high and away, ball two, 2-0 now. Swinging a line drive base hit in the alley in right center field between Retman and Paul Blair. Going hard to cut it off as Retman makes the pickoff. Mincher going to second. Throw coming. He is going to be safe at second base. Mincher has doubled in the alley in right center. And the A's have a tying run halfway around with a tough Sal Bando at the plate. Well, the O's and the Oakland A's have really battled through this 4-game series. The first one went to the A's by a score of 1-0 on Monday night. Tuesday, the Orioles bounced right back with a 6-2 win to even the series at a game apiece. Last night, the Oakland A's in the 9th inning took a 5-4 verdict from the Orioles, and now we're going to get a pinch runner for Don Mincher. It'll be LaRusso. Tony LaRusso will run for Mincher. Two out. Runner at second base, LaRusso. At the plate, Bando and Palmer is ready to go. The pitch, high, ball one. The Oakland bullpen is activated once more. And it looks like it's Bob Locker and Lindblad once more. We'll check and make sure of that left-hander, though. The set by Palmer, the 1-0 to Bando. Curve beam outside low, 2 balls, no strikes to Bando. Orioles 3, Oakland 2. LaRusso, the runner at second with 2 down. The 2-0 pitch to Sal Bando. Palmer delivers. High foul is hit out of play off the first base side. 2-1. And manager Earl Weaver heats up his bullpen now, and you're right, it is Rickard and Watt. The 2-1 to Bando. High pop fly, shallow right field. Retman coming hard. Johnson going back. Johnson back. Retman on. Johnson is there. Johnson makes the catch. And that's the final out in the 8th inning. No runs, a base hit, no errors. The man left at the end of 8. Baltimore 3 and Oakland 2.
Brooks Robinson will begin the top of the 9th inning. And before Brooks bats, the pause for station identification. This is the Baltimore Oriole Baseball Network.
This is Nick Steffen advising you to hear John Stedman's Sports Wire broadcast at 7:15 mornings on Radio 11 WBAL in Baltimore.
Here we go to the top of the 9th inning. Brooks Robinson will take on Roland Fingers here in this top of the 9th. Brooks, Clay Dalrymple, Mark Belanger are the 2 batters. Fingers has handled Brooks 3 times this afternoon. Here's a swing and a foul ball over the netting. Strike 1. Those of you who have followed the Orioles for any length of time have seen this happen to Brooks Robinson before. He just will all of a sudden get into one of those snags, and the only way to get out of it is to do what he's doing now. Just keep swinging. The ball is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And to manager Earl Weaver's credit, he allows a fellow like Brooks to stay right in there and battle his way out of the slump. It seems that's about the only way he can do it. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brooks. Fingers throws. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lindblad and Locker in the A's bullpen. Eddie Watt is now the only man working in the Oriole bullpen. Fingers delivers. Swing and a foul to the screen, and Brooks had a better swing than he's had for a little while. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, Fingers reeled off 11 in a row before Buford hammered a home run into the right field seats to break the 2-2 tie. The 1-2 to Brooks. Here's a line drive into center field coming up as Mundy, and he doesn't get there. It drops in for the base hit. Brooks Robinson has singled to start the Oriole 9th inning, and that breaks a pretty good string for Brooks. He had gone 0 for 14 until he singles to center field to start the Oriole 9th inning. And the batter now is Clay Dalrymple with Brooks at first and nobody out. Oh, you don't know what a welcome sight that is to see that Brooks Robinson base hit. Welcome to all of the Oriole fans, to all of us here in the booth, but particularly so to Brooks. Now Dalrymple, 1 for 3 in the afternoon. Fingers is ready to go. They look for a bunt from Dalrymple. He swings away and hits a high pop toward the second baseman Green, who is backpedaling on the outfield grass. Green is there and makes the catch to retire Dalrymple. Bando charged down the line, and Dalrymple was swinging away. Here now is Mark Belanger. He is 0 for 3 against Fingers this afternoon. The Orioles have never had more than one hit per inning against Fingers today. The one hit in the first inning was a 2-run home run by Boog Powell. A double by Blair in the third. A single by Dalrymple in the fourth. Then 11 in a row went down until Buford homered in the eighth. Ball is outside to Belanger. Joe Rudy now playing first base, and Angel Manguel in left field for the Oakland A's here in this ninth inning. Pitch to Belanger, inside the mark, 2 balls and no strikes. Rudy from out of left field goes to first base, and Angel Manguel takes over left field. A 2-0 pitch to Mark Belanger. Outside ball 3, and Belanger now sticks out in front of the count at 3-0. The 3-0 pitch to Mark Belanger. Brooks at first and 1 out. The pitch, outside ball 4, and here is a walk to Belanger that sends Brooks Robinson to second base. And out to the plate now will come Jim Palmer. That is only the 3rd walk issued by the Oakland right-hander this afternoon, as opposed to 9 strikeouts. And he has hit a batter. So it's been just a fine pitcher's battle between a pair of right-handers, Palmer for the O's and Fingers for the Oakland A's. Well, they figure that Jim Palmer will try to move the runners up on a bunt. They've got Rudy crowding in on the infield grass at first base, and Bando, of course, he's the key to the bunt situation if the Orioles are bunting. The set by Fingers, and the pitch, Palmer squares to bunt, bunts it foul right at the plate, strike 1. What Palmer would like to do would be to get Sal Bando, the third baseman, to field the bunt. Bando has called to time and has gone to the mound to say a very brief word to Raleigh Fingers. Fingers has the sign. He's ready to go. 1 strike to count to Palmer. They had the bunt on. They still have it on. He squares. He bunts. He pops it up, and the catcher Duncan drops it, and it rolls in foul ground. Palmer is going. It's a foul ball. It was a foul ball. Not touched by anybody. Duncan, I think, was going to try to get a little cute and go for 2. It was just a pop-up of maybe 15 feet right in front of the plate, or maybe 2 feet out in front of the plate. And Duncan was out there ready to grab it, and suddenly spread his hands, let the ball drop in fair ground. And it had a lot of spin on it, and it bounced right back of the plate in foul ground without having been touched. So it's just a foul ball strike on Jim Palmer. 2 strikes now to Jim. Billy Hunter comes down the line to say a word to the 2-2, Mr. Palmer. And he is flashing some more signs to the base runners, Brooks at second base and Belanger at first base. 2-strike pitch to Palmer. The bunt is on again. He bunts. He pulled the bat out of the way, and it's ball 1. Squared the bunt and got the bat out of the way. Well, Duncan had a reasonably easy chance to get Palmer, but decided, I think, that he might be able to get 2. Now the 1-2 again to Palmer. Fingers throws, Palmer squares, bunts foul, and that'll be the strikeout. Number 10 for Fingers. Two down in the inning, runners holding first and second base, and now here is tough little Don Buford. And I mean, he is tough. This fella can beat you so many ways. He's a very tough man to pitch to. He presents a very small strike zone, and he knows that strike zone. He makes great contact, does not strike out very much, has power. He can hurt you with a long ball, and that blazing speed, and that great competitive spirit. Fingers is ready to go to Don Buford. The right-hander's first offering. Swinging a ground ball sharply hit to the second baseman Green. He's got it. firing to first base in time to retire Buford, and that's it. At the end of 8 1/2, it's the Orioles 3 and the A's 2.
Well, if you live in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, or in Hanover, Pennsylvania, perhaps you are making plans to come out some night or someday next week and enjoy either the California Angels Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night, or these same Oakland A's Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon. So, if you live in Chambersburg and you're coming down to Baltimore, go to Lyons Incorporated, Main at Queen, and see Mr. Dick Lyons for ticket reservations. And if you're from Hanover, Pennsylvania, well, visit Sam Kramer. See Sam at Lloyd's of Hanover at 10 Carlisle Street. Palmer and the Orioles with a lead of 3-2. Let's go to Chuck now, the bottom of the 9th inning.
And the left-hand hitting Rick Mundy will be the first man on against Palmer. Mundy is 1 for 3 this afternoon. Palmer delivers. Mundy swings. Here's a line drive base hit to center field, and here come the A's again. Mundy singles to center field on the first pitch to get Oakland started in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the batter now is the man who is swinging the home run bat in the 2nd inning, Dave Duncan. George Bamberger is on his way out of the dugout now. He wants to go out and have a word with Jim Palmer. Dave Johnson is coming in there, too. Pete Rickard and Eddie Watt are warm in the Oriole bullpen. Lindblad and Locker are warm in the Oakland bullpen. And Herb Noren is coming over to the dugout to have a talk with his manager, Dick Williams. So we've got a lot of baseball brains spinning at top speed right now. Bamberger has concluded his conversation and heads for the dugout. Dalrymple back behind the dish, and the right-hand swinging Duncan steps on. Following the home run with Bando aboard in the 2nd inning, Duncan skied deep to the center fielder Blair and deep to the left fielder Buford, so he's hit the ball well each time on against Palmer this afternoon. The right-hander's pitch, he squares to bunt, takes a strike call. 1 strike to Duncan, and the bunt was in order on the first pitch from Palmer. And the 1-strike offering, the runner goes. The ball is bunted by first baseman Powell. He knocks it down, recovers, and throws to first in time. Powell almost overran that bunt from Duncan. He knocked it down with a bare hand and then stopped, went back and picked it up and threw to the second baseman covering in time to get the sacrificing Duncan. On to second on the play, Rick Mundy. And to the plate now. Here comes Steve Hubley. Hobley been in 8 games hitting .273. Hobley hitting for Green, a left-handed batsman. And the ball is too high to Steve. And we see Tommy Davis standing in the on-deck circle. He was one of the heroes in Oakland's victory last night. Palmer's 1-0 pitch to left-hand hitting Hobley is a strike called outside corner at the knees. And the 1-1 to Hobley. Mundy, the runner at second base, and 1 away. Palmer throws, he missed outside, and the count now is 2-1. Palmer ready once more. The 2-1 to the left-hand swinging Hobley on the way. High, ball 3, 3-1 to Hobley. And the 3-1 offering coming down to Hobley. Ball 4, low and inside. Palmer has walked the pinch hitter. That'll be only the second walk issued by Palmer. Way back in the first inning, he walked Reggie Jackson, and now here comes Tommy Davis. Davis will bat for Fingers. And it was the Davis bat last night that knocked in the winning run. And as a pinch hitter, he contributed a walk to the tying run in the 7th inning. Davis, a right-handed batsman. And his figures as of the moment show a batting mark of .231. Runners at first and second and 1 out. Palmer's first offering to the pinch hitter, Tommy Davis. Strike called outside corner at the letters. Both Rickert and Watt are now working in the Oriole pen. Bob Locker all alone in the Oakland pen. Palmer's one-strike pitch to Tommy Davis, former National League batting champion, not once but twice. Monday, the runner at second base. Hobley at first, the set by Palmer, the pitch. Swinging a line drive, caught by the second baseman Johnson. Throws to Belanger, covering second for a double play to end the ball game. A line drive double play off the bat of Tommy Davis to Johnson, the second baseman, to Belanger, the shortstop, to end the ball game. Well, that's it. The Orioles win it by a score of 3-2, and we'll be back with more highlights of this afternoon's game after this message.
4.